அனைவருக்கும் கனிவான நல்வணக்கங்கள். A very good morning to everyone. I'm extremely happy and delighted to be here to speak with youngsters. When they said shaping the future, definitely talking to youngsters would matter. Youngsters, children are the hope of future. Future, when we mention, we directly mean something to do with timeline. Immediately, we have the understanding about the past and the present. Time is something that is understood by us only and only by our memory and understanding. I remember my past. I plan my future. So what is the continuum? What is the continuity that takes me from the past to the future? As I go on to talk about this very important thing, I request every youngster in the audience to kindly pay attention, because what we talk to you today may sound a little boring at this point in time, but I want you to carry this seed, grow with it, grow it inside you. Mind. When we say mind, how do we understand mind? How do we see others' mind? How do we understand it? We understand it sometimes by their words, sometimes by their eyes. The eyes look sad. The eye looks very happy, joyous. The eyes look very fishy sometimes. It's the face sometimes. Sometimes it's the gestures. Sometimes it's the overall body language. As dancers, we always experience how body language can be very communicative. You can understand that your friend is not in the right state of mind by the body language. So ultimately, every time, each day, every time we relate with the next person, what we are dealing with is emotions. Emotions is the undercurrent thing, the spontaneous thing, the never-ending course that travels with us from the past into the present and to the future. When we say emotions, it involves our behavior and others' behavior, our expectations and others' expectations of us. All these interpersonal relationships, this decides what kind of overall life we would have. So when you are talking about mind, we have to understand that it has a very special quality. Probably it is the greatest double-edged knife that God has given us. That on one side, it can be used for the wonderful. You can imagine endlessly with your mind. You can plan about the future. You can aim for it, work, become ambitious, achieve. All the growth that we see around us is because of the mind, its dreaming, its imagination, all the passion that it has had. On the other side, mind can get very mean. It can get very wavery. It can get very restless, very manipulative. It can grow to be a weapon that can be aimed at the other person. So, when we say about shaping future, I definitely want all of us to think about how my present is. Am I able to carry myself? Am I able to face myself? When we are alone, imagine you don't have your gadgets with you. Imagine no cell phone, no tower, no, maybe after a storm or something that you have no connection. What is the first thing you feel when you are alone? Boredom? Whom are you bored with? The most boring person that we find is ourselves, most often. To avoid ourselves, to avoid facing our inner voice, we keep engaging in chats, we keep engaging in social media, we keep on scrolling that mobile continuously because we are bored. We don't know how to face ourselves. We probably don't know to remain quiet and understand who we are. And this ability to stay with yourself, to understand your inner self, will actually make you emotionally very calm and composed. In every given day, take those few minutes aside for yourself, where you will not use mobile, you will not use other gadgets, you will not do anything productive, and it's okay. It's completely okay to be unproductive. We are not machines. We are not factories. At the end of an year or a day or after a few years, I must be this, I must do that. Yes, do everything. All that will happen naturally to you. Each one of you are loaded with potential which we elders have not given you. All that we have given you is unfortunately, a very bad society. So you have to be the calm center which can deal with the not so healthy society that we as elders have handed down to you. Make this society a better place by understanding to respond. There is a difference between responding and reacting. Most often, the mind indulges in the past. It holds on to the memories. We say, you know what happened that time? She did this to me. Next time she comes, no, I'll show what. What is the point? Whom are you harming? Whom are you harming? You are angry with the other person, but ultimately you are harming yourself. You will understand its repercussion after 10 years when you develop a blood pressure, a sugar, or anything else. Then is when you will remember, oh, it's all the emotions that I did not manage or balance properly inside me. Learn to center yourself, root yourself, be of utmost help to others. Empathize with others. Empathy is a very easy word to say and very difficult to practice. Empathy is nothing. It is just your ability to completely see the given problem from the other person's perspective. And if each one of us decide from this day to judge others a little less, push others a little less, pressurize others a little less, we will feel a calmness and a state of peace around us. And that is most required. That will automatically gear you to study better, to research better, to do whatever field you take to excel in it. You just have to be a good human being first, who is able to understand others, who is able to at least understand that each of us have a very different set of problems. So before judging others, let's learn to empathize. There are only 4 very basic things that is universal. And these 4 things are not bound by religion, caste, creed, nothing. It is the basics of creation itself. And our Tamil scholars, ancestors have very clearly marked it. Pasi, Pini, Moopu, Sakadu. These are the only 4 facts that run through past, present, and the future. Pasi, hunger. It can be of the physical body, it can be of the mind to seek attention, fame, money, anything. Pasi. Pini, ailments. None of us can avoid Pasi, none of us can avoid Pini. Moopu, aging. All of you are young, beautiful, energetic today. But it is the inevitable of life that you will also become old. So empathize with your parents. Empathize with adults at your house. It is very disheartening to see that youngsters are more stressed today than others. It is probably the blame on the elders who have not been able to teach them the priorities. Mark is not the priority. Money is not the priority. Health is. Calmness is. If you're calm from within, you're healthy, people around you will be automatically healthy. They'll be automatically energetic. Empathize with those who are aging. Empathize with the knee pain of your mother, with the backache of your grandma. Help them. Support your family. Your family is where your roots lie. The 4th one is Sakad, death. We all saw during the COVID time. Rich, poor, USA, Germany, Japan, Italy, India, wherever you are, you will die. You will die a ruthless death. Face it. So when we are alive, let's be sincerely, really, deeply alive and be there for each other. Always. This doesn't include any gender. I know there are boys here, there are girls here. These facts that I've spoken now are not gender biased. They are common to each and every human being. Empathize with your friends. Be gentle with all those whom you meet. Smile at each other. Make each day memorable for yourself. That way, you will shape your future in such a beautiful way that you would not even realize that, you know what, 10 years ago I had planned that I'll make a company in 10 years. Today, I'm the boss of the company. No. No. In that process, you might have hurt hundreds of people. Who will calculate all that? Your achievement or your success is not a one-day story. It's your entire lifetime. All people around you must feel secure, safe, happy, comfortable, joyous. And then at the end of it, you have some fame, you have some money, you have some the socially triggered things with you. It's a bonus. But don't aim and run towards that. So I'm very happy that TEDx could provide such a platform for people like me to talk to youngsters, and I sincerely thank Sri Sairam Engineering College for having given me this wonderful opportunity. Today, as a dancer, dance teacher, and a person from psychology background, we will be presenting a composition of Mahakavi Subramania Bharatiyar. My dancers will be dancing here. And in that composition, Mahakavi Bharati very beautifully says the nature of mind. He says how the mind indulges in the past. It is restless to achieve, at the same time very scared to do new things. You ask anybody to take a new endeavor and come and do it, immediately we'll back out. We'll say, no, not me. I thought he will do it. Can you go and tell principal this? No, not me. Can you go? Every one of us want to pass the responsibility. Bharati talks about that in this poetry. And finally, he says how we keep the grudges, grievances in our mind as if they were a treasure. He even compares it to the crows which eat the dead. He says we live on the dead past as if the emotional past. The real past, the history is very much required. But the emotional clinging to the past, we behave as if we have to eat the dead. And then finally, he says, each day be born anew. Wish each other happy birthday every day. Every day, each of us are born anew. Let's be born anew every day with a state of fresh mind, fresh body, approach the next person, remembering that they have also dropped all the past and come to you as a fresh being. Wishing you all the very best. Indru Pudidai Pirandum.